Hello, and welcome to the Big No Name Show. We have a lot in store for you: plastic surgery, international voices, and an up-and-coming band, Pit Stains. Some fun, some serious. Stay tuned.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to International Voices. This is a program that presents personal experiences about traveling internationally and living in different cities in the world, and not simply visiting countries as a tourist. Joining us here today, we have a couple guests. We have Flo Hernandez from France and Gianluca Taglier from Italy. A big welcome for these adventurous fellows. Flo has been in many places around the world, such as Morocco, before deciding to come to San Francisco and live. Gianluca has also lived in many different cities of Italy, and now he's been living in San Francisco for around 5 years. Flo, what led you to live in different places?
Well, first I was living in France when I was born, and then I moved to Morocco with my parents when I was for 2 years. When I was 21, I was living in Sweden, in Malmö, in south of Sweden. I was a professional golfer playing on tour there. That was a Scandinavian tour, and so that was easier for me to commute to different cities in Sweden if I was living in Sweden. So that's why I decided to stay there 2 years. And then I went to Australia in Brisbane. I was living there for 8 months, and I was training with my coach there for the winter season before to come back to Europe to play on tour again. And now I'm here for a year now.
That's good. Gianluca, what led you to live in those cities that you lived in, and how long were you there for?
So I was born and raised in a small town in south of Italy, quite unknown place, and definitely not so exciting. So when I had chance to move to Bologna, where I studied my university, I moved there that I was 19 years old. And then after a few years, I got finally graduated, and I moved to Milan because of my master post-degree. So basically, I just lived in Italy, in a couple different cities, and this is my first time living in another country. Now, when I was a boy and I used to play basketball, my dream was, become a professional NBA basketball player. This didn't happen, but at least I'm here and I'm enjoying.
So what brought you to San Francisco then, and what do you like the most about staying here?
Well, right after my master post-degree, at that time I needed to learn English, and I was not able to speak English at all, and my best friend recommended to come here. I didn't know anything about San Francisco, and I said, okay, let's go. And then after few years back and forth between Italy and San Francisco, now I've been living here for 3 years. I do enjoy San Francisco. I think it's a cool place, nice weather, nice people.
Flo, what brought you to San Francisco? What do you think you like the best about it here?
Well, I came to San Francisco for the first time last year in February. I was in vacation, and I really loved the city. I had an awesome time here, and I knew that I wanted to move to a new country in the world, just to do something new in your life, in your step. And I was like, what about going back to school, learning something new, and be able to have another job? So I was like, I should do it in San Francisco because the city is awesome. So I went back to France, and I got my student visa to be able to come to study at CCSF. And I started in January. And here I am now.
What do you think your next step is going to be, and why?
Next step would be to find a job in TV production or film production. And could be in a state if I can, or if not, I will move back to Europe. And I would love to live in London or Stockholm.
Yeah, I could see that. London's kind of the California of Europe or something. Gianluca, what do you think your next step is going to be?
I will try to get a job here and make it living here, but hopefully in few years when I will be ready, I will try to move to LA because we have pretty much the same goal. I would like to become a producer, a TV producer or cinema producer. So I was told that LA is the right place to be. And so I will go there and check it out and do surf. No, I don't do surf.
There's always time.
You can try.
Yeah, I can try with a green screen, maybe.
Yeah.
Just pretending.
Be careful.
That could be a good show.
Yeah.
And the last question people would love to know is, Flo, what would you recommend to people who would thinking about living in France?
Oh, I would recommend them to, I would say some weeks before to learn how to speak French, just a little bit. Also, if you really want to appreciate France, they should go to different restaurants and bars and enjoy the wines that we have, because we have a lot of red wine and white wine and rosé and champagne. Yeah, that's it.
Some good solid advice there. Gianluca, what are your recommendations about people who are thinking about living in Italy?
I do recommend to have an experience in Europe. And plus, beside the crazy people, which is sometimes interesting, really funny, really nice, people that enjoy their life and hopefully they are quite friendly most of the time.
Yeah, that's what's unique about Italy. Every part's so different from every city.
Completely different.
Thank you, Flo, and thank you, Gianluca, for joining us today on
Thank
International
you.
Voices. Everybody have a wonderful evening tonight, and goodbye. See you next time.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Hey, I came up with a song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called Irrelevant, the Irrelevant Elephant.
Sounds amazing.
It goes like this. A lonely elephant with no one to talk to. Too bad he doesn't have a buddy to share his feelings with. Irrelevant elephant, irrelevant elephant. Na, 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 na. Greetings everyone, and welcome to an exciting episode of the Gaming Game Show Game. I am your host, Christian V. Now with us for this edition is our player 1, Johnny, and we have player 2, Spencer. So let's get familiar with the rules. You only get 5 shots altogether to make it in or miss altogether these cups. The cups have questions in them that you will later answer. If you answered with the most correct questions, you get these non-branded, unopened bag of chips. Is that pretty clear?
Yeah, they look delicious.
All right. So, how about player 1, Johnny? Stand up. Hello.
Hello.
You think you're ready? Whoa, whoa, whoa. 5 shots, man. Hey, you made 2.
Here's his ticket.
All right, 3rd shot. Ooh. That's all right. 4th shot. Hey. There you go. Last shot, my man. Good job, my man. Player 2,
I'm ready.
you think you're ready?
Yes.
Five shots, man. Oh. Oh. That counts in my book. Ooch. So that's 5 shots, my man. Great job. All right, you think you're ready for the questions?
Yeah.
In the game Metal Gear Solid, who's the twin brother of Solid Snake? Is it A, Liquid Snake, B, Gas Snake, C, Moist Snake, or D? I don't have a D. Let's just go with that.
Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake? Well, that is correct. That is correct, my man. Good job. Second question. How many square blocks is each game piece composed in the game Tetris? A, 5, B, 4, C, 3, or D, 8?
8.
8? I'm sorry to say, but there's only 4 square blocks in Tetris. Last question. What Nintendo system was released after the Nintendo 64 and before the Wii? A, GameCube, B, Nintendo 128, C, Virtual Boy, or D, Super Nintendo?
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo? Well, the correct answer was GameCube. Player 2.
Yes.
Which of the following video games takes place in a dystopian underwater city called Rapture? Is it A, Half-Life, B, God of War, C, Fallout 3, or D, BioShock?
I'm gonna go with D, BioShock.
That is correct. And the second question. In the game Mortal Kombat, what phrase is heard when Scorpion uses his spear? On your knees, get over here, come have a seat, your soul is mine.
Your soul is mine.
Your soul is mine. I'm sorry to say, the correct answer was B, get over here. Well, it seems to me that we have a tie, people. I guess you guys are gonna have to, I don't know, share these awesome, unbranded, unopened bag of chips. Hope you guys like co-op. Here you go.
Yes.
Thank you.
Play co-op every day. I'll share these delicious chips with my friend here.
Let's have a round of applause for these lovely players, huh? Woo! Thank you, viewers. Maybe another time.
Fresh off their third consecutive world tour, with their greatest hits album currently going platinum, this next band has played private shows for the Queen of England, before crowds of millions, and now for you, beloved audience, live from the 415, it's Pete Stands. years ago. That was a peace stand. Thank you for watching.
Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about plastic surgery. There are so many people that are obsessed with plastic surgery that sometimes you don't get the results you want. Although there are people that need plastic surgery for restoration of face, appearance such as a nose, lip, eyes, etc., some just want to look better. There are different kinds of procedures that can change a person's life. Our society has changed many people's minds about appearances. Today, I have here with me Florine, who is going to talk about her experience with plastic surgery. Hi, Florine.
Hi, Monica.
How are you today?
I'm pretty good, and you?
I'm good.
Good.
What is your opinion on plastic surgery?
I think it's a really good thing, especially for people who have been disfigured in horrible accidents. So, yeah, I think it's a really good thing.
Really good thing. What do you think plastic surgery is a miracle for those who need a face restoration, and why?
I do think it's a really good thing for those people. I don't really have any reason. I mean, just that saves their life. So
Yeah.
it's something that you have to do.
Yeah, that's good. What made you want to get plastic surgery?
I got a plastic surgery 15 years ago when I was 14 years old, due to the fact that I had a melanoma and
Yeah.
it's needed to be removed because that was the beginning of a skin cancer.
That
So I
sounds
did
really, yeah.
it. That wasn't a good time.
Yeah. How did you feel after the procedure?
That was a long process. That was up and down. I was tired. I was happy that I did it.
Yeah.
But it's really hard also to accept yourself because the surgery we did it on my breast. That was hard for me to accept myself. I don't really pay attention now about it. I just don't see it.
Did you like the results, or was it what you expected? Would you have changed anything?
I like the result because I'm here now.
Yeah.
Like, that saved my life. Physically, I don't really like it because it's a scar on my skin, so it's not very pretty. But it's okay. I mean, you know, like I say, the health is more important. So I'm happy, very happy that I did it.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
What would you say to the people that are against plastic surgery?
Depending on the reason, it's a good thing. It helps people's self-esteem due to horrible accident or health issues, I think, yeah.
Yeah, it really does affect people.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing your
Thank you.
experience, and thank you for watching. Until next time.
Some people say global warming is a drag.
But not us here at Dynabird Refiners. Down here in Antarctica, the weather's never been warmer and the surf's not anywhere near normal.
That's no joke. Did you see that wave?
Yeah. Well, at Dynabird we are positive. Where some people see catastrophe, we see opportunity. Now, without our renewed efforts to keep the greenhouse effect moving forward, we are going to more and more places like never before. Now, with the sea levels rising.
Surf's up in Antarctica. Right after I catch some of those totally tubular waves, it's time for the old penguin barbecue with so many of them running about.
That's right, just ask about jobs at Dynabird Petroleum. We are changing the future so you don't have to. Or ask your local travel agent about visiting our refiners. With the Antarctica Surfing Southwestern Barbecue Weekend Getaway, yes, you heard it, with special discount available during winter months. That's right, only at Dynabird Petroleum. Yeah!
Now, we will examine the future of newspapers. The industry is facing a critical time of uncertainty and is struggling to adapt to a landscape increasingly dominated by outlets on the internet and mobile. Newspapers' revenues have fallen and advertisers have fled print for the web. As a result, publishers are searching for ways to profit in the digital age. Joining me now is Arthur Pines. He's a faculty member with City College of San Francisco's Broadcasting Department and also works as a professional media. With us from New York is Andrew. He is the author of The End of Newspapers and a blogger who covers new media. Welcome, both of you, and I begin with Arthur. Arthur, where is the newspaper industry headed?
Well, we're not sure exactly. Newspapers do have a challenge ahead of them because consumers have changed, and especially young consumers are going to the internet or to their phones to get their news, and they want it now and they want it quick. And newspapers are kind of they take a day and they're a little bit slow. Most newspapers now have a presence on the internet. They're just not as popular. There's a lot of competition too on the internet, and so and social media is also another way that people share information. So there are definitely some challenges for newspapers, but some of them still make money. So they are part of the digital landscape as well.
Thank you, Arthur. Andrew, do you think the newspaper industry is dead, or is there a growing bifurcation between national and local newspapers where papers like the New York Times will also survive in print form, while local papers like the San Francisco Chronicle die?
Well, I feel like the more quality newspapers like the New York Times that have quality writers and articles that actually cover in-depth topics will continue to survive, whereas other newspapers, for instance, the San Francisco Chronicle, probably won't fare so well because there isn't really much content to it.
Thanks so much. Back to you, Arthur. With the rise of citizen bloggers and real-time news delivered over the internet, are the borders between old media and new media blurring?
Well, definitely. I think if you're talking about the borders, they're blurring. I mean, obviously, if anybody can be on the internet, and so can citizens. And so when we talk about citizen bloggers, we're talking about people that are getting their information right there on the street. And that kind of gives them an advantage. If you're in the right place at the right time, that's news. I mean, and so sharing that news, with a greater audience is what it's all about, letting people know what's happening here and now. And so citizen bloggers can be an important part of that because they can capture something in the moment, especially if they're running around with the phone. The one advantage to being part of a larger organization is, of course, resources. And then also you rely on journalists to have a way of being able to take a lot of information and whittle that information down so that it makes sense to the greatest number of people. And that's not an easy skill to have. So, I mean, there is some blurring, but then there are some definite advantages to having a bigger organization that collects news versus the citizen blogger. But contributions from citizen bloggers are very, very important, and that's how a lot of newspapers and television stations get their information nowadays, or YouTube videos or cell phone videos. Those things that have become increasingly important, and relying on citizens to give us information like at a flashpoint is always part of what is news. So.
Thank you so much, Arthur. Andrew, do you want to chime in?
Yeah, sure. Well, I feel that bloggers and independent journalists are actually more diverting news. Is going to be headed more in their direction in the future, just for the fact that people are tending to cover other topics that you won't find major broadcasting networks wanting to touch on, and just because there are so many topics that are taboo, political topics, very many things that nobody else wants to talk about that independent journalists and bloggers will deal with, just for that reason, because the news needs to be reported, and the other half of the media is not reporting on it. So I think we'll see a huge rise in independent blogging and news reporting. That's all I have to offer.
Thank you so much, Andrew. And back to you, Arthur. How should today's broadcasting and journalism students prepare for what is a constantly evolving industry?
Well, I think that basically it comes down to two areas. One is the ability to communicate, and then the other one is the ability to use technology. And if you're able to communicate and use technology, obviously being able also to tell a story is important as well. Interpersonal skills, how do you listen and talk to others, that's like a big part of it. But being able to write like stories that tell a story that makes sense, out of the chaos of the world, that's another important skill. And then developing critical thought out of like not all information is important information, so filtering that out, that's important. And then the last part is technology. The technology is always changing. You have to embrace it. It's here to stay. If you're not using it, somebody else is. But technology changes all the time, so you just have to have an open mind of how to use it, and you have to understand what programs are for as you learn. Like say, cameras. All cameras are pretty much the same. Once you know what they're supposed to do, you use them. And the other thing is with software. Software is always changing. But learn some basic ones. There's always industry software out there that you can learn, and you may be exposed to different kinds of software over time. But once you learn how to use one, you won't be intimidated by the next thing that comes along, because there always will be something new that comes along that enhances your storytelling.
Well, that is all the time that we have for today. So thank you so much, Arthur, and thank you so much, Andrew.